plaintiff, Jennifer Henning, says when she had sex with the defendant, she was involved with another man. So when she got pregnant, she did not know who the father was. Jennifer says a paternity test determined the defendant was the father, but their son is now 11 and he's barely seen him. She's suing today for an orthodontist bill. Defendant Tim Durr says he and Jennifer had a one-night stand, and he did not even know about the child until the state requested that he take a paternity test. Tim's countersuing for harassment.
Start with you.
Tim is the father of my 11-year-old son, Hayden, which is actually here today, just to let you know.
Okay. So you have him in the back in case you'd like for him to come out? Is that what we're doing?
Correct.
All right. So a lot of times we don't have minors in here when parents are discussing them so that they don't get their feelings hurt or get the impression that they don't need to have about a parent. So it's up to you if and when you want to have him come in. And that's how we proceed when we have minors and involved in a parental dispute. So he's the father of your 11-year-old son?
Yes. 2003, I was 19 years old when I met Tim. We met at a bar. I was actually in a relationship with an abusive guy, and I left him for a little bit. Me and Tim slept together. I ended up going back to the abusive guy because I found out Tim was seeing another girl that I went to high school with. Found out I was pregnant. There was a possibility that he was not the boyfriend that I was with at the time. Tim was notified, known that there was a possibility Hayden was his. Never made contact. We had a paternity test done in 2004 that was proven Tim to be the father. He has not made any really major effort to see Hayden in 11 years of his life.
How many times would you?
He has probably seen Hayden.
Per year, how many times would you estimate?
Maybe twice, actually.
Twice per year?
No, not even once a year. Recently, within the last year, since he's been with his girlfriend, she's made an effort, and he's made several efforts since this braces thing has been going on.
But prior to that, say the first 8 years.
Back when Hayden was 2 years old. That was really it.
And you all stay in the same town?
Yes.
All right. And have you spoken with him about seeing the son? And
I have.
What has his response been?
We've talked about it, made arrangements. Tim has never called, never showed. I've even sat down.
There's no barrier to seeing the son?
No.
All right, because he wasn't married or anything when you all had the son,
no.
So there's no wife over there telling him, you better not go over there.
There was a girlfriend.
Keep the wallet here.
Yeah, keep that wallet here, right?
The previous girlfriend, yes. She did.
The girlfriend immediately after you made issues of him coming to see the son?
Correct.
And he said, don't bring that rascal over here. I don't want to know. And don't be sending our money. And if you go over there, you better stay. Because that woman over there, she wants you. Every time she come over, every time you go over there to pick that son up, believe me, she looking you up and down. That shouldn't be an excuse for men, but sometimes they just say, forget it. But you shouldn't say forget it. You just work through a third person or do whatever you got to do, or lead the other woman, or if you choose who you want, the child or the woman. All right, so get some background from you, sir.
Your Honor, there was never really a relationship between me and my son's mother. It was pretty much a one-night stand. I found out through a friend that she was seeing somebody. That's why there was no relationship.
That is a lie.
With her.
Did you just say you were?
Sorry.
No, didn't you say you were seeing somebody when y'all got together?
No, he was the one seeing a girl I went to high school with.
No. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I misunderstood you. I thought the first thing you said was when I met him, I was in an abusive relationship. So now you're saying you weren't. So I don't know whether to believe you or not. Anything else you tell me today? Go ahead, sir.
I found out through a friend that she had the boyfriend. She didn't actually tell me. And in 2005 is when I got the letter from the state of Missouri asking me to come take a paternity test. That's how I found out that I had a son. And that the other guy that she had led on the whole time, telling him, the abusive one, that it was his kid, after they decided to split up and the abuse was too much, she wanted to come find out who the real dad was, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, and if my memory serves me correctly, I'm not going to give you a chance to tell me I'm lying. She did say I wasn't sure, and I called him to tell him it may be his, and I wasn't sure whether it was the other guy's. So that means you had to be in a relationship. That's why you weren't sure.
When I
If
got
you
the
weren't in a relationship, you would have been sure it was his. So once again, ma'am, you tried to deceive me. Go ahead, what else?
when I got the paperwork from the state saying that they would like me to come take the paternity test, my last name wasn't even on there. She didn't even know my last name. She was obviously thought that her ex that was so abusive was the father of the child, because that's who the child's last name was when he was born. Then, after
I'm walking out. You're not going to sit here and humiliate me. That is a lie. I never said that.
You humiliated yourself.
I said, no, I'm done. Sorry,
Yeah,
Judge.
It appears that, yeah, you might have been hitting some raw nerves there.
Sorry, it's just the truth, Your Honor.
That's what
It
I'm
is the
saying. It
truth.
kind of gives credibility to what you're saying. Most people just deny it, and they're not so hurt by things that are untrue.
Right.
But as we observed, she attempted to deceive me.
And tried to make me out to be a
two
bad...
of the facts. As such, I'm going to dismiss her claim, and I have to dismiss yours for harassment. All right, that's my judgment. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He lied. I'm done. His girlfriend's a drug addict. They lost all their belongings in a storage auction because of her. He met with one of our mutual friends the other day at our friend's gravesite, and she was texting him, sending people looking for him. He's got 5 DUIs, just lost his license for 10 years. My son had cancer. Where was he? Nowhere to be. Nowhere to be. You want to humiliate me? You can win your case. I don't care. You're not going to sit there and lie on TV.
I've always wanted to see my son. I've made plenty of efforts. It's just she's making it complicated. As you've seen today, it's always everybody else's fault, problems. It's never hers. I would love to see my son. I've always wanted to see my son.